encourage you, of course, but the fact of the matter is you do not need this class. That is the fact of the matter. Okay? Okay. So we're going to finish. We're picking up on C. Okay? So if you recall correctly, we just found our average rate of change between points 1 f of 1 and 1 plus h and f of 1 plus h. Okay? That came out to, our average rate of change was 2 minus h. So, on C it says, what happens to secant lines between the points, the two that we just did, as h goes to 0? Goes to 0 is another way to say that h is approaching 0, which means our limit is 0 here. So we're doing the limit of, as h approaches 0, of 2 minus h. Remember, the first thing you do whenever you're trying to solve a limit is you're going to plug in the number. If it comes out clean, then it's good. So we're going to substitute first. So 2 minus 0 is just 2. Oh, let's just put 2, m is 2. So our answer is, as h approaches 0, m is 2. Okay. On D, we're finding a general formula for the slope of a tangent line at any point using x, f of x, and x plus h, and f of x plus h. So, we're going to do our limit as h approaches 0. We're using the same formula from above, which is the 4x minus x squared. So remember that we're doing f of x. Actually, I'm just going to go and write it in here. Okay, we're doing f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h. So I'm going to plug all of this stuff in. So this is 4 times x plus h, because wherever there's an x, we're going to plug in x plus h, minus x plus h squared. Now we're doing minus f of x. So we're just going to plug in x where there's already an x, which is just 4x minus x squared. So literally I'm plugging in the actual equation. And we're dividing that whole thing by h.
I have a question.
Absolutely.
For the x plus h squared in the first part, how do you what did you do that?
So our equation came from up here, which was our f of x is 4x minus x squared. So wherever there was our variable x, we plugged in instead x plus h. So just like over here, this was a 4x right here, so where there was an x, we plugged in an x plus h. We did the same thing where the x squared was. Okay, next line. So we have our limit as h approaches 0. We're hopefully going to cancel some stuff out here. So I'm going to distribute. That makes 4x and 4h. Here I have a negative x squared. Then I have a negative 2xh. And a negative h squared. Pay close attention to your signs as you're distributing here. So I have a negative 4x and a positive x squared. So hopefully we can cancel some stuff out. So let's start here. I have a positive x squared and a negative x squared. Those are going to cancel out. I have a negative 4x and a positive 4x. Those are going to cancel out. So I'm left with 4h, negative 2xh, and negative h squared. All of those had an h in them, and I'm trying to cancel out this h in my denominator. So I'm going to pull out that h, so I'm left with 4 minus 2x minus h. These are going to cancel out. Now that I have the h out of the denominator, now I can go back to step 1 for my rules of limits and substitute in my 0 for h. We didn't do it before because we were dividing by h. If we divided by h, we'd be dividing by 0. We couldn't have subbed before. Now we can. So I'm going to go in here, my limit as h approaches 0. We have 4 minus 2x minus 0. So remember, the other way to write this is f of prime of x, which is another way to write the slope of the tangent line. Okay? And it's 4 minus 2x. And so this is our general formula, so meaning once they give us a point on that line, we're going to plug in that x value, and it's going to give us the equation, or not the equation, the slope for that point on that equation. Let me put it this way. So say they gave us any point on this curve here. So let's say they gave us 3, okay? I would plug in my 3, and this would give me the slope for the point of tangency on 3. It would give me the slope for this line right here. If I did it for 0, and I plugged in 0, it would give me the slope for this point of tangency right here. That's what the general formula is. Okay, does everyone have their homework from yesterday? Okay, so like I said, you have the class period to work on it. Cross country is not going to be here tomorrow. So that's actually good news for y'all, because I was going to try and see if we could do shorter quizzes, which means now we're really at half the class is gone whenever cross country is gone. So no quiz tomorrow. What we're going to do is we're going to take our 2.2 notes, and then we'll do a quiz over 2.1 and 2.2.